Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest video. Here it's about nested lists. This is about putting one list inside another. There are various reasons that you might want to do that, but one of the most important is that when we get to doing CSS and things like that, it's very good for menus and that type of thing. So we're going to have a quick look at it today and see what happens when we do it. Okay, if you remember from last time, we had left it like this. Okay, so we're going to create a new file inside HTML3. Okay, so right click on new file, and we're just going to call it nested.html. Okay. So as you can see, it's totally empty, so we need to create the tags. Oops. Okay, so inside head, we'll have title, nested lists. Okay, so that fixes that. So we've got it basically set up. I'll just press Control and S to save it. Now here we need to come over and actually change our we need to come over and we need to change our browser, because at the moment it's not actually pointing at a page. It's picking up the default page, and the default page is index.html. So after the last /, just type in nested.html and press enter. Okay, as you can see, there's nothing there, and all it says at the top is nested lists. So we know we've got the right page, but of course body is empty, so there's nothing in there. Right, let me just make this all line up. So to make this a bit quicker, I've actually created some lists already that I can work on. So the first list is here. I must do a keyboard shortcut for this. I know I keep saying it, but I must do a keyboard shortcut. Okay, if I do Control and S, we will see that we have our nested list. It would be nice to put a heading in, so we'll have an H2 nested lists example, and we'll follow that, of course, with a closing H2 tag, and press Control and S, and there we have our H2. Okay, so we've got lorries, trucks, same thing, vans, cars, and motorcycles. So let's look at having some of the names of lorries and manufacturers of lorries, trucks, vans, cars, and motorcycles, that type of thing. And we want to put the names, of course, below each section. So you can see we've got an unordered list with the list in, as we did before, and closing it off. So this time what we need to do is we need to give it some information. So again, I've done a quick little bit before, so I shall just copy and paste that in, and we'll highlight that. auto indent and press Control and S. So as you can see now, we have a nested list, and you can see what it looks like. The system has automatically changed the bullet point on the nesting. This is one of the things, the defaults that web browsers do. So you can see we have our lorries and trucks, but this time the closing tag, okay, for lorries and trucks, there's the opening tag, and here's the closing tag. Okay, so it's in a different place, and in between that we've got another unordered list, and inside here we have a number of list items. And so it is quite annoying that this isn't lining up properly, because it does make life a lot easier to see it if it lines up. I think we might move over to NetBeans quicker than expected on this, actually. A little bit of a trick: you can actually create multiple cursors in Atom and in NetBeans by holding down the Control key and then clicking. So if I click backspace, that's going to push them all back one. Okay, and then I'll just move there. That stops all the cursors, and we're back to normal. Okay, so that needs to go back there. I should have done more of them. That needs to go there, and that needs to go there. I think we're about ready. Yep. Okay, so that makes it a lot easier to see, and if I Control S it, you'll see it makes no actual difference to the output on the screen. It just makes it easier to see the code. So LI, and if I move this to a new line, you will see again there's no difference on the output when it's saved. Same for motorcycles. If I move that down, press Control and S, I've saved it, so you can see it's saved. There's no blue dot. Okay, and you can see the listing here. Okay, so you can you can nest to a number of different levels. So for example, if we come down to Honda, and we can add another list in here. We can do another unordered list. So it's always a good idea when you create the opening tag to actually create the closing tag at the same time. It just makes sure that you haven't made a mistake. You'll find that when we actually do the autocomplete and emmet and so on, it'll do that for you, but that's for some time to come. So CBR. Okay. What I'm going to do is I shall copy that, Control C, put a couple of them in, and we'll put in, oh, I don't know, Pan European, and VFR. So if I press Control S, now you'll see that we've got another one, and again you'll see that the bullet has changed to a square. So each time it's changing. So you can nest the various different lists. So for example, if we come down to CBR, some of you might understand that I like motorcycles from this. We can do that, and we can put a list item in, and we'll do, let's have a look, 600, and there's also, let's have a look. Okay, so for example, okay, So as you can see, we've gone down, but at some point they actually do stop the different types of bullet point and they just remain the same. Okay, so you'll notice that CBR is actually on a different line here, but it's still got the correct bullet point. Honda is on a different line. Okay, if we actually look at the page source, okay, you can see that the page source mirrors what we have here, more or less. Forget about the code injected at the bottom, but it more or less mirrors it as well. It's the browser knows that there's no new line character, so consequently it hasn't put in a new line. Okay, so that's how you can nest them. You can actually change the list from an ordered list to an unordered list. Let's have a look. Where are we? That one there, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Control and S. And you can see we got 1, 2, and 3 here as well. Okay. So you can mix and match as much as you like. There's no problem with that. Okay, so we'll just stage that and HTML3A nested lists. Commit to master and push. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. My name's John, and I'll see you next time.